Hi guys, and welcome back to Life of Posy. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a dog grooming pillow. This is a dog grooming pillow I made quite a while ago for Posy, just out of an old bandana, but I think it's time for an update. If you have a dog with long hair such as Posy, we keep hers in a ponytail as you can see up here, it's nice to have a grooming pillow. And so if you want to see how to make one of these, please follow along. This is the grooming pillow that I made for Posy a few years ago. I just grabbed an old bandana and made it, but this time I want to make it a little more pretty because I like pretty things. So I went through my stash of material and I found this material here, and I think that this is lovely. In order to make our grooming pillow, we can refer back to our pattern that we made for the dog dress because the measurements for the neck are on there, or you could refer back to the neck measurements that you wrote down. I'm gonna grab my pattern that I used for the dog dress. Here it is. Because I know that I needed 12 inches around for Posy's neck, this could work. In order to make this dog grooming pillow, we will need two sides. So I'm gonna have to cut out two identical pieces. I'm going to refer to my pattern here because I believe that this will help me to cut it out. Okay, I have here a fabric safe marker. It erases with heat. I'm gonna use this, but you could use any kind of a pen or pencil. I'm gonna turn my fabric and cut it over here on this outer edge, making sure these are lined up nicely. So what I'm going to do is take my pattern and fold this portion under because I don't really want that to be part of this. I just want this top neck portion. So this will give me an idea. I'm gonna come over here to the edge so that I can save as much fabric over here for other projects. And I'm simply going to round these straps out with my pen. Just draw a rough half circle. And then I'm gonna follow this down. Obviously I can't draw right here because my pattern is there. So I can open that up a bit. Now that I know that that's not the portion I want, I'm wanting this portion. And I'm gonna swoop around and trace this out. And come up here and same on this side. Round it out a half circle and bring it back down. So I'm happy with those drawings. I'm going to remove this now, and I know that the rest of this is going to be the bottom portion, so I'll just round the very bottom out right here. If you were worried about having these rounded edges be the same, you could take something rounded and trace it. For example, you could use this painter's tape and put it up here at the top and trace around that edge on both sides to make them even. And again down here at the bottom. But I'm not worried about perfection here. I'm happy with my drawing. And so I'm gonna cut this out and then I'm going to sew it together. Now, as I was looking at this, I decided that this portion here was too narrow because this is where her head and neck will rest over. So I went ahead and brought this up a little bit higher. I just took my tape and drew a half circle. So now my shape is here and I have a little bit more room right there. Now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to cut it out. I'm gonna cut them both out at the same time because I have both layers here. All right, there, I have it completely cut out. So now we're going to sew it together. This project is almost done. It is so simple. We're gonna take both of these pieces and we're gonna have one face up with the pretty side of the fabric up, and the other one, we're gonna take the pretty side of the fabric face down. This way, the two good sides of the fabric are facing together. Line everything up nice and even. Now we can throw in a couple clips or pins to keep it in place. Now that we have it all clipped and pinned together, I'm going to bring it to my sewing machine and stitch it all together with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to stitch all the way around, but when I get to the bottom, I'm going to leave 3 to 4 inches open. This way we can stuff the batting inside. Remember to back stitch at the beginning and end of this opening and then continue on so that we can close it up, leaving that opening. Okay, now that I have stitched all the way around, leaving this opening, I can take it and turn it right side out, right through the opening we left. So just take all the fabric and push it through using your finger to make sure all the seams are pushed out. All right, now it's time to stuff our pillow. So take any kind of batting you have, even if it's leftover pillow batting. I have some batting that's left over from a project we did quite a while ago, and I'm just gonna use that and stuff it nice and full. Okay, all that's left to do is hand stitch this opening shut, and I will show you how to do that in just a moment. To sew this up, I have some thread that matches my fabric and a needle. I'm simply going to put a knot down at the very bottom of my string here so we can start this off. I'm going to put my needle down underneath the fabric here and come up the good side, so my knot's underneath here. And you can tuck that string. And then I'm just simply going to come in across the other side and go in and then bring it up on the other side and pull that tight. And as we go along, we'll be tucking this part with the words under a bit to hide it and have a nice closed seam. So I'm going to carry on. Okay, and when we get to the very end, just go ahead and knot that off by pulling the needle through, leaving a loop. Bring your needle through the loop and pulling tight. And do this about 2 times. And then push your needle in and out way over here so that we can hide the tail of that string. Pull tight and snip, and the thread goes inside. I have one little thread sticking out here, and I'm going to get rid of that. And there we have it, our dog grooming pillow. You can just fluff it around and move it a little bit to get your batting just right, but I think that this turned out really lovely. It's not quite as round as the one I made previously, but this will still work really well, and I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, when I'm using this, I take my dog and I lay her down on my bed, which is where I do her hair. Stay posy. And I put this pillow right under her neck. And then she simply rests her head on it like this as I brush her hair and pull it back with a ponytail. And this just keeps her head elevated a bit. Right now, she's wondering why I'm doing it to her because this is not the usual surface we use it on. But that is how you use a grooming pillow. This front area is where the dog's neck hangs over, and it just leaves their head a little bit more elevated as you brush their hair and pull it into a ponytail. Thanks so much for following along and learning how to make a dog grooming pillow. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.